What's happening, everybody? How the hell might y'all be? Thanks for tuning in to the Crash Bang Boom podcast. Today's guest is Caleb Hogue of Excide, and he also plays with A Knife in the Dark, Holy Figures, and Dull Mourning. We get into the writing and recording of Excite's killer new record, Bastard Hymns, one-of-a-kind snare drums, his love for John Tempesta's drumming with Helmet, his nearly fatal car wreck that left him in a neck brace, back-breaking day jobs, Caleb is one of his 7 siblings, and even some of my dumber reasons for canceling gigs. Crash Bang Boom podcast can be found on all podcast platforms, and if you like what you hear, please feel free to drop a positive review my way. Additional video clips of the interviews can be found on the Crash Bang Boom YouTube page, so check it out, and as always, thanks for the support. So without further ado, Caleb Hogue, Excide's new record, Bastard Hymns, kills. Get up on it. Hope y'all enjoy it. Crash Bang Boom.
Crowds go mad with joy.
All right, Caleb Hogue of Excide, straight out of South Carolina, right? South Carolina?
Yeah, the band started in South Carolina.
Are you in South Carolina now?
I'm actually in North Carolina. I've always been in North Carolina.
Ah, okay. Where in North Carolina?
I'm in Greensboro.
Okay. Where's that in relation to Asheville?
I'm way farther east. I'm about an hour and 20 minutes west of Raleigh.
Okay.
So I'm about 2 hours and 45 minutes from Asheville.
Okay, gotcha. I'm in Atlanta, so I'm closer to Asheville. I haven't been to Raleigh, but yeah, I love North Carolina and the Carolinas in general, man. I'm a big fan of that area of the United States. I love it up there.
Oh, me too, man. I'm blessed. I was born in Ohio, but spent my whole life in North Carolina, so
nice.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. Well, congrats on Excide's new record, Bastard Hymns. It's killer, man. I've been listening to it a lot. I think the recording's great, so it'd be fun to kind of talk to you a little bit about the recording itself and who worked on it, and then your process of recording drums and some of the gear you use. The snare sounds great on it, by the way. I love a good cracking snare up in the mix with some crunchy guitars. So y'all got that in spades on that record, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. When did y'all put it out? Because I think I feel like I was aware of it probably around when it came. I think y'all released some singles and then the full record like in November, and I got some of those initial singles y'all put out, and I was like, oh shit, this is really good. So I was looking forward to the record. But yeah, it was November, right?
Yeah, I believe it was the end of November, maybe the 28th.
Gotcha. I feel like in the old days, the whole idea that record companies and record execs and that whole sort of world that's not so much necessarily here anymore, they would say, don't put records out in like November, December, or January, February. There were just like these dry months. But now it's like, whatever, just put the shit out. It seems to matter less now. Would you say so?
I'd say so. I think that putting it out around like Thanksgiving and holiday time when people have a little bit of time off of work and time off from school, they're just kind of just casually listening to music a little bit more than they would be in their day to day.
Yeah.
So I think we fell in a good time period for people to check it out.
I agree. Well, again, congrats on it. I think it's great. Who engineered it? Who mixed it? And where'd y'all record it?
Oh man. So Austin Coop produced the record, and then we actually ended up recording it in Tyler's studio that he has in his basement in Wilmington, Delaware.
Wow.
We were actually supposed to fly out to Los Angeles to do it with Coop, and it's when all the wildfires were happening back in January.
Oh yeah.
So I drove up to Delaware to do a week's worth of pre-pro before we flew out to LA, and then the fires were getting kind of sketchy, and then we were doing pre-pro sessions with Coop over I think we might have been doing them over Zoom. Discord. We were on Discord.
Okay.
And he ended up having to evacuate because of the fire. So we just flew him in, and I picked him up. I packed to go to California for a month and ended up in Delaware for the month of January.
Damn. Was all of his stuff back in California okay?
Yeah, he ended up good. Nothing happened to him. It was just his roommates and stuff were leaving, so he needed to get out. While they were getting out, he couldn't be home by himself.
Damn. Well, other than you being in North Carolina, are all the members otherwise in South Carolina, or some of the members in California, or was that just who you worked with on the record in California and Delaware?
So we are so spread out. I'm actually the only Carolina boy left.
Okay.
I think Tyler moved to Delaware maybe 2020 over COVID. Gage moved from South Carolina back to Baltimore. He's originally from Baltimore. He just moved out to California. We have a guy in Lansdale, Pennsylvania, outside of Philly, and then another one in like the eastern side of or the western side of Canada.
Really?
So we are all spread out.
Who's in Canada?
Jake, our bass player.
Damn. So
Yep.
needless to say, some pretty serious coordination to get everybody together to start jamming on these fucking songs, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, actually, recording them was my first time playing some of them. We played some shows just before the record came out. It's our first shows, and I think the band played a couple shows without me in July of 2024.
Okay.
But yeah, until November, we hadn't played any shows since then. So some of these songs we like recorded for the record, and then played them all together in a room for the first time right before playing those shows.
Damn, dude. I've seen some video and/or pictures of Excide playing, and there is a drummer who is full of tattoos like yourself, but significantly more robust of a human being. I'm assuming you didn't lose a shit ton of weight. That's a different guy.
That's a different guy.
Okay, I was gonna be like, bro, you lost a lot of weight. Congrats.
Hey, thanks. No, that's our pal Austin. Just another guy in the homie group that held it down for a good while before I came along.
What is your connection to Excide? How did you ultimately end up jamming with him?
So Tyler and Jake and I used to play in a band. I guess I joined that band maybe 2019, and I spent most of 2019 playing with them into 2020 up until COVID hit.
Okay.
And then that band had never come out. It didn't do anything after COVID. So, but Tyler put out the first Excide release. It was just a solo thing. It was just all him. And I remember hearing it the first time and just being like, damn, this is awesome. And, he got together a lineup. They played their first shows, and some people came and went. They went through a couple drummers, and then I finally got asked. So
what kit did you record with that actually made it onto the record? Is that all mostly a single kit and snare, or was it a Franken kit? Did you mix it up? What's on the record?
That was all my stuff that I brought from home. The drums, there's a company called Barton.
Uh-huh.
And it's just a maple kit that I bought back in, I think I bought it in 2020, that I had played on and off. And yeah, it's just been the one I've been rocking for a while. So I brought it up just to see how it sounded. And I actually set it up when I first got up to Delaware, and Tyler was getting ready to spend the first weekend recording another band, and they ended up using it too. And then we just kept it up, and I used it for our record.
What snare did you use? Was it a Barton snare as well?
It is not. So my friend Caden lives in Pittsburgh, and he works at a Hawthorne drum shop.
Oh yeah, I was just in Pittsburgh. I didn't swing by Hawthorne drum shop this time, but the time prior to that.
Yeah, dude, I haven't gotten to make it up there yet, but I really want to go up and check it out. But he started getting plates of steel, of stainless steel, and he found a guy up in the hills that are rolling these plates for him into shells.
Damn.
And welding them. So he built me it's a 13x7 3mm thick stainless steel snare, and yeah, he made a whole kit for himself and took it out to California and recorded one of his band's records with it. But he's just been building snares for the homies, and I was the first 13 that he built, and he sent it to me, and I fell in love. I don't think I ever want anything else.
That's awesome. It's funny. You wouldn't think that half of an inch on opposite sides would make that much of a difference, but I have a 13 up set up behind me right now. It's a brass snare. Pretty much all my snares, other than my old Superphonics and maybe Acrylites, are like brass snares. And that 13, there is something awesome about a 13 snare. I love the way it records. Like I said, the only thing I don't love is that it's just a smaller target, but there is something about that 13 diameter. I don't understand why, but it sure as shit sounds good.
Yeah, for me, I think it's all about the feel. I really like that I can tune a 13 to feel looser when I'm playing it and still have like a higher bite out of it.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to put as much tension on the head to get to get a good crack out of it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Is that for any live shows, etc.? Have you found that you've been kind of just sticking with the very kit that you recorded on anyway, that Barton kit with that snare?
That had been that had been my setup for a while. I actually just got I got a new kit in July that I've been absolutely in love with, from a company called Blackwood.
Oh yeah, I know them.
Yeah, he built me Travis built me a stave birch kit,
Okay.
and that thing's been blowing my mind.
Nice. I'm a fan of birch. I've got some Japanese birch behind me, whether it's Tama or 80s. I guess mostly 80s. Tama and Yamaha, like Japanese birch kits. I'm a fan of them.
That's awesome. A place where a lot of my bands record here. My friend Jeremy, he's got an old recording custom that we use a whole bunch, and that thing's awesome. And then I was just talking to another buddy about the old superstars, the '80s
That's
superstars.
that's what's behind me right now.
That's awesome. What sizes do you have set up on it?
Right now I've got the 13 and the 16 toms and a 22-14. There was a guy that I saw in Marketplace that had a 24, a 14, and an 18, and I was like, dude,
Oh man,
I think like if I had that, then I would have a 22, a 24, 12, 13, 14, 16, and 18. I would have like the fucking craziest big badass Japanese 80s Tama birch kit. But that being said, I couldn't get it in time, but I've got 12, 13, 14, 16 toms and a 22, 14 bass drum. So I'm missing an 18, and at some point I'd like to get a 24 bass drum, but
that's awesome. Yeah, I got a 22, 13, 16 in my Blackwoods, and it's just perfect for everything.
yeah.
You can play any style on a 22, 13, 16.
Yeah, it's nice having a little getting the boominess out of them and everything. I dig it. They record well, the whole thing. So I'm definitely into it. When it came time for you to actually record the drums, how long were you tracking them?
3.5 days.
All right. So you had it pretty nailed down. Were able to get in there once the drum sounds were ready to go and track that shit, huh?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because I think I went into recording the record really only knowing 3 or 4 of the demos that I'd like sat down and played with, because I got told beforehand that like going into pre-pro, anything is subject to change, so don't get like too nailed down
Oh,
to anything in the that are on the demos, which a lot of parts got extended or some parts got cut. We added bits here and there in that week, but I kind of sat down and worked everything out part by part. There were
yeah.
like there were like some program drums from when the songs were written, but kind of got to do my own thing and just piece it together. And originally, when we were supposed to go out to California, I would have done the drums last, which I've never done before.
Oh, okay.
And to be honest, that the thought of that was stressing me out a little bit. But
I bet.
in Delaware, it was just kind of anything goes. So I don't even think we started with drums. I think we did a little bit of guitar and some vocals for a couple of days, and I was like, hey, just let me get the drums out of the way.
Yeah,
Let me just do my thing and be done. So
absolutely, dude. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things it's the blessing that you can do just that, knock it out and be like, all right, I'm going to let you assholes fight out the rest of this process. I'll come back around when y'all are mixing and just see how everything's sounding. But it's kind of nice to be able to just step away from it. But yeah, to come back after the fact, I mean, yeah, I hear you. I could see that being a little bit of stress involved with that.
yeah, but it went awesome. It was smooth. I had a good time doing it. So
Nice. Yeah, all your fills, everything sounds supernatural. If I didn't know any better, I would swear that y'all were super rehearsed for it. At least you were. You sound like you're nailing all the parts and everything. So
hey, I'm glad it sounds that way. That's the goal, right?
yeah. Hell yeah, man. How many shows have you done like a few runs here and there with Excide since you joined them then?
Dude, I have not done a lot. I got in the call, I think in October of 23, and they were getting ready to do a week on they were doing a week support for another band's headliner, and I had a vacation plan, so I couldn't do the first bit. But my first shows with them were January of 2024. We did
Okay.
a run of shows in April, and then I didn't play anymore with them until November
Really?
of this past year. So yeah, and then this record has always been the goal. We were actually supposed to record the record summer of 2024, and then we pushed it off 6 months just
Why?
because label stuff and finances and things weren't quite lining up. And so we were just like, we're better off to be a little more prepared and push it off. And then it worked out great. I don't know if the process would have been the same if we had
Right.
ended up going out to California.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. Are there any like spots that of the shows that you play with them or shows that they played prior to you that seems like there it's especially welcoming to the band? Like you mesh well with a scene or whatever bands or venue, town, whatever. Are there any particular places?
I don't really know. I think crowd response every time has always been good, but
Hmm.
like I feel like the band kind of falls. Obviously, we play with a lot of hardcore bands and we fall in that realm pretty well, but like I feel like it skirts around genre wise a little bit.
Yeah.
So like I don't ever really know what to expect. So everybody's always vibed with us, at least in my experience in the shows I've played with the band. But I don't know. I'm curious to see this upcoming year if we find any sweet spots.
Yeah, I feel like as with most sort of genre-specific bands, the bulk of them are just that and not always very exciting. But whatever mesh or amalgamation of sort of influences that Excide has sounds awesome to me. It actually reminds me a little bit of Leeway's Desperate Measures that came back out in like '91. That was, as a dude from Louisiana, that was the first time I had sort of heard sort of hardcore, but they probably had a little more thrash in some of their riffs than y'all, but definitely
Yeah,
the grooves and like some melodic sensibility to actually have like catchy vocals every now and then that don't sound contrived or cheesy. That
yeah,
it seems like that would be relatively easy, yet most of the bands that try it don't really sound as good. But that's one of the things that y'all pull off, and it's what sort of struck my ear as being cool initially and made me check y'all out further. Was that y'all could do just that?
yeah. I was honestly surprised myself with like the vocals on the record because the demos that we had, none of them had vocals. And
Really?
we're doing that week of pre-pro, and then we fly Coop in and we're getting ready to like really start going. And Tyler's like, "Hey, I'm taking like a day. You guys like write a song without me, right? You guys write a song or two with Coop." And so we did that. Why he spent like the first couple days writing lyrics and figuring out melodies. So like everything, and the same thing, I guess, me not really being familiar with the demos like I should have been going into the record. It's just like what you hear is naturally us.
Right. That's
Like there's
great.
no real filtering it out or like giving ourselves time to sit on things and make changes. It's just whatever comes to mind is what goes.
Right. Once it was all said and done and you could actually sit back and listen to it, what were your thoughts on it?
Oh, I was stoked. I was very excited.
Yeah. As you should be. Again, yeah, it sounds great. It sounds great in all my car stereos, house stereos, like on just about anything that I put it on, it cuts really well. It just fucking sounds big and awesome.
Yeah, I'm mostly listening to it in my headphones, but I mean I couldn't ask for anything better. I had Coop crushed it with the mix. So, and I think that was only I don't even know if we got any reference mixes for him. That might have been the first thing
Damn.
that we got. We got no, we got one, and I think there was like one or two minor notes that were song specific, and that was all. It was all done. There was no like big process of getting multiple mixes back and picking them apart. He just knocked it out right away. So,
Damn, man. As far as your sort of journey and playing drums in general, when and where did that start?
oh gosh, I grew up a little skate rat, and I was probably 13. A bunch of my skateboarding friends they were going to local shows, and they were all a few years older than me. And I convinced my parents to let me go with them to some of these shows, and I was just watching drummers. I caught myself watching drummers, and I was like, I can do that. And I think I started telling people I played drums before I ever touched a drum set. And then my family was real church involved, so the youth pastor was also the worship leader. I was like, hey man, I was like, I want a set of drums, and somehow somebody gave him a set of drums to give to me. I think it's right before Christmas. I was yeah, right before I turned 15, and I got them. And I remember setting them up the first time, not having anybody there to help me, no idea how to do this. It probably took me an hour and a half to set up a little four-piece kit with a ride and hi-hats. I
Right.
just put my headphones in, and I sat down and I smacked away on them for like 4 hours straight. I remember how bad my arms hurt, how bad my ankle hurt, and then yeah, I just kept doing that. I started playing in my first band like 3 months later.
Wow. How old are you now?
I'm getting ready to turn 32 in a couple weeks.
All right. Okay. He's all right. So what's that? 17-ish years, 17, 18 years, something like that. You've been playing drums, I guess.
Yeah, actually, last month I hit 17 years.
There you go. All right.
That's awesome. That feels crazy to say.
I hear you, dude. I mean, I'm gonna be 50 this year, so I've been playing. I guess I got my first kit as well when I was 15. So yeah, I'm going on like 35 years.
That's so cool. I can't wait to see where I'm at in my drum journey when I'm your age.
Yeah, hopefully not hurting too much.
I'm already hurting
Yeah,
now.
we got to get your ergonomics together, brother.
Yeah, I work a physical job too, so everything is always just it's all shoulders and elbows.
Oh, really? What is your job around
Uh,
outside of playing music?
I've been putting in fences for 8 years now.
Oh my God, dude, of course. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I put up two chain link fences today. I smacked probably 50 posts with a T-post hammer today, beating them into the ground.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, damn. Okay, well now I get it. Yeah, you get a pass. That's definitely rough work. You're working outside and smacking posts and putting up fences.
yeah, it feels awesome. I like to go play drums in the mornings before I go to work because I'm usually too tired to play after.
I bet. I bet. Are you watching your ears, man? Are you protecting your ears? Are those hammers not? They're not too loud. They're not blowing your ears out.
No worse than my drums have over the years. Actually, I listen to music a good bit when I'm working, so I'll have my earbuds in.
Okay.
I didn't start wearing earplugs playing drums until maybe last year. I can't. I've tried so many different kinds from like the nice $50 stuff that like filters the sound and keeps it clear to just the foam ones. I don't like the way any of them sound when I'm playing,
Yeah.
and it's been a tough journey for me there.
Yeah, I ended up getting custom molds made and then just got like the 25 negative 25 dB filters put into it. And like going to see music live, it sounds good. I actually want to block out even more when I put them in. I actually like the way that like big sort of like Vic Firth, for instance, like cans sound.
Yeah,
It isolates enough so if I'm listening to tracks or clicks or if I'm recording or anything like that, I can hear what I need to hear, and I've got the drums outside of me enough. I can still feel the bass drum. It cuts a lot of the real high shit out, like any like
yeah.
piercing cymbals or super like piercing snare drums, etc. So I actually like the way that sounds. But the fallback there is like if I play gigs with them because there's backing tracks or something, I'm wearing them. I sweat my ass off. I'm like they're soaked with sweat because I'm just sweating my ass off when I wear those things, dude.
Yeah, when I'm practicing, I have like I'll put my earbuds in or my in-ears in, and I've got like over the ear muffs. I guess they're just like gun muffs. I think the ones I have are 35 decibel reduction.
Uh huh.
But I can't, and I'm fine with how those sound. Like that's honestly my preference as far as ear protection goes. But I can't bring myself to play shows with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It throws the vibe a little bit. I feel like it's like which drum gloves I think are awesome, but it's like wearing drum gloves playing with the wrong band.
Fair enough. Fair enough, man. So God, I guess if you got your first kit around 15, you were playing like 3 months later. Did you gravitate towards hardcore or metal or rock, or what was it that you were initially gravitated towards when you first started playing?
I loved all of it. I think it was 2000. I got my drums in 2008, the end of 2008, going into 2009. So that was when like a lot of like it didn't age well, but I still love it. A lot of like the 2010s metalcore stuff was very prominent, and a lot of like the Christcore stuff. And I grew up in church, so
Right.
it was like all that stuff initially, and then as I got older, I started just vibing more towards rock stuff. I really like the groove more than I like shredding or
Uh-huh.
just trying to play super fast. So I kind of started gravitate more towards that. And but yeah, my first few bands were all on the heavier side.
Right on. Of the groovier drummers that might have influenced you to play a little bit more that way, were there any particular ones that kind of that you would think of offhand?
Abe Cunningham is my
Of
all time
course.
favorite.
Yeah, he's got the best pocket in heavy music.
Yeah, it makes me feel dorky to say, but It's the truth. And
It
then
is.
I try to remember how old I was the first time I heard the record, and it's still one of my all-time favorite records. And I wish he had done more with the band. But John Tempesta is drumming on "Size Matters," the Helmet record.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that that's always stuck with me. I listen to that record probably once a week.
I've got friends of mine that still swear by his playing on that. And you know what's crazy? Because I'm old enough to where I was going to see the original Helmet back in the day on like Meantime era and Betty and all that stuff.
Yeah,
And then I saw them. They came through New Orleans at the time, and John Tempesta had joined them, I guess, for that record that you're talking about. And it was incredible. I interviewed him. I talked to him about it. He was playing like John Stanier's like fills verbatim. He learned like seemingly all of them for those Helmet songs, of which there's a lot of them and a lot of really badass ones. I didn't expect him to learn them like that. I was like, dude, how long? He was like, dude, I had to just sit there and learn that shit. He worked his ass off on it. So
that's all.
yeah, it's crazy seeing him play that stuff.
Yeah, I wish I would have been able to. I just now recently started like digging into YouTube and finding live videos from that era. And what's
Yeah,
crazy to me is like that's not when people talk about Helmet, that's not a record that comes up.
never. Yeah. Other than like what I said, one of my drummer friends, he swears by it too.
Yeah, I've got a couple of guys around here that are older than me that are very into it. But yeah, like Helmet's one of my all-time favorite bands too. I love Aftertaste and I love Size Matters. Those are my two.
Nice, dude. Dude, I was looking on your Instagram and I saw a picture of you. I don't know if you were in a wheelchair or not, but you had a neck brace on. What the fuck happened to you?
So I was just 2020 August. I was driving to work and I woke up in the emergency room.
Oh
I
God.
I still don't know exactly what happened. I woke up on the gurney to a nurse putting my phone in my hand saying, "Hey, you were in a car accident. Call whoever needs to know," and leaving me. And I ended up breaking my neck. I had a
What?
broken neck.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, nightmare experience. I got out of. I didn't have to have surgery, which I'm very thankful for because didn't have health insurance at the time. Um, but yeah, I was so worried playing drums. I was in that brace for 12 weeks. One of my bands, I recorded 4 or 5 song EP 12 days after that in the neck brace.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
I couldn't feel my middle of my index finger or my thumb on this hand at the time. So I'm like holding the stick with these two fingers, trying to keep the groove. And it's cool. It's nice to listen back on that and be like, I'm a badass. I was able to do that. But at the same time, I'm like, I wish I would have waited because I might have been able to play those songs a little bit cleaner.
I would imagine so, man. That's crazy. Do you know to this day what happened? Did you hit another car? Did you hit a tree? What happened?
So I had a little teeny tiny Toyota Echo, and all I got told was, like, I don't even remember opening my eyes. As soon as she woke me up, the investigating officer was there, and he said, he basically told me I almost collided head on with a big Ford truck, is all he told me. And then trying to figure out why my car insurance was so expensive a couple of years later, just like looking back through past claims, it was an F550, which is like the platform truck for like dump truck and a car hauler in my little Toyota. But I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. My airbags didn't go off. I believe I went into the windshield and hit my head off the truck bumper,
Oh my God,
like from
dude.
looking at the picture. Yeah, I cut up the left side of my head really bad. And what had happened is it pushed my head so hard this way that I had compression fractures in two of the vertebrae on this side.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wow, bro.
it messed with my shoulder for a long time.
Did you have any other broken bones?
I didn't. I had a bad concussion and a bunch of pulled muscles, but that was about it.
Whoa.
I got lucky.
You
And
did.
the cool thing is I don't remember it. So like I didn't have any like weird fear of driving after the fact. I remember hearing, I guess they had to cut the door off of my car to get me out. I remember hearing the saw. I remember hearing the words "He's alive." The sound of them cutting the door off, and I could feel them cutting my shirt off in the ambulance. And those are the only three things that I remember. And as far as I know, they all happened one right after the other.
Whoa, dude. That is so scary. Wow. I've had just like numbskull injuries, thankfully, nothing ever that bad, whether it's like mountain biking or like barroom brawls or being drunk and doing some dumb shit. I've definitely had like those injuries, but thankfully nothing to that extent. Just having my arm in a sling or my hand in a cast, or that sucks alone. But what you went through, that's extreme.
Yeah, just to be in the brace for 12 weeks was so unfortunate because the only time I could take it off was the shower. And like after like a month, I'm like, I feel fine. I want to get out of this thing, but they
They're
kept
like,
wanting me to go back.
no, you can't.
Yeah, follow up, make sure everything's all good and healed up. But yeah, I mean, I had other injuries, most of them skateboarding when I was younger. I actually 3 days before my first show ever, I fell and broke my wrist skateboarding. And I got kicked out. I got kicked out of my very first band.
I hear you. I've had some dumb injuries as well where I had to cancel gigs, and yeah, people were always mad about it. Understandably, but I couldn't have played. I mean, one of them, I hyperextended my thumb in a drunken state when I was trying to pull my pants down because I was trying to get to the bathroom so fast because I thought I was going to shit my pants, and my pants didn't come down fast enough, and I hyperextended my thumb, and I was like, because and man, you're fucked if you can't use your thumb, obviously. And I had to call. I didn't tell him that's how it happened. I just said I was pulling a kayak off of the Jeep and hyperextended my thumb. That sounded way cooler than the way that I actually did it.
Well, if anybody listens, they're gonna know now.
Tough shit. Oh well.
I don't know how long ago this was.
That was a long time ago. Statute of limitations. I feel like I can finally divulge this information. The only other dumb one that I had to cancel, now that we're on this subject, in a drunken stupor on my birthday, I think I jumped over. My cat got out of the house, and I jumped over the fence, and I just landed weird on my ankle. And dude, it was my right ankle, and I was just like, I'm not so proficient with my left that I can play an entire show with my left foot for everything. I couldn't walk. I couldn't put a shoe on. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. I had to cancel one for that too, but whatever.
God, yeah. I tore my right ankle up a bunch when I was younger. I kept rolling at skateboarding, but I wasn't like doing the sideways thing. I was like rolling over the front of it.
Oh.
And the last time I thought I broke it, I was in high school, so probably 17. I remember thinking I broke it. My mom taking me to the emergency room, and they're like, you didn't break it, but the can't remember what the ligament's called. It's the main ligament that connects from your shin bone to the top of your foot. He said, yours, it's supposed to look like a thin piece of silk. He said, yours looks like somebody stapled a bunch of pieces of leather together. He's like, and you tore it again.
Oh.
He's like, you've done this before. And I remember I think I was in a boot and crutches for 8 weeks or something there. I didn't have to get a cast or anything, but I was supposed to stay off of it. And I kind of had to decide, like, okay, do I want to keep skateboarding real hard, or do I want to lay back and play drums? Because it hurt me for like a year. It stayed sore and tender trying to play drums. And then I kind of just like put the skateboard to the side for the most part.
Yeah, I would say that's a wise one to do. I mean, to this day, when I wake up, when I walk initially, the tendons and ligaments and everything in my ankles must be super jacked because I feel like I'm 100 years old at first when I wake up. And some days my ankle will just start hurting for any reason, but I've sprained it so many times from skateboarding and doing all that stuff, BMX and or just, dumb drunken shit, jumping out of trees, whatever, all that silly stuff. But my ankles bother me. In fact, it's the excuse I use as to why I don't shred super hard with double bass. I've jacked my ankles up so much. I think my brain telling them to work, they're just like, well, tough shit. We're kind of fucked down here.
Yeah, I think everybody as they get older, at least in my friend group, talks about playing double kick just gets harder and harder as you get older. There's something about being in your late teens, early 20s where you can just rip it and it's fun. I wish I would have learned some kind of technique because I've always just like fully stomped the pedals. But I mean, it's getting hard. I've got toothpick legs, so there's not a lot of weight pressing down on the pedal. So it's just force coming from my hips. And as I'm getting older, my hips are popping a lot. Every time I take a shower, I'll put my heel up on the edge of the tub and kind of bend it and just push my knee in and my hip will crack. And I love the way it feels, but I'm tired of them feeling stiff all the time.
Damn. Wow. Yeah, my hips don't crack. That's kind of crazy that yours are doing that. But yeah, I don't know, man. Take some ibuprofen occasionally and try to stretch. I don't know what else to tell you.
I started sitting up a little bit higher recently while I've been playing, and it's been helping a little bit, I think. I like to sit low. I like the way it feels to sit low, but
Same here.
as my footwork goes, I benefit from raising up just a little bit.
Yeah, I've heard there's so many different schools of thought. If you look back in the 70s, 80s, people were sitting super low. A lot of them probably have lower back problems and their knees are probably pretty damaged from it. I'm okay with it. I'm also 6'2" and I've got big dumb clown feet, so like sitting up high for me, I'd have to. I don't want to hunch over all my stuff, and I'm not going to put it up on the ceiling either. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not flat. My legs aren't parallel to the ground. They're a little bit above that, you know. I'm not sitting as high as like the jazz guys did, like Buddy Rich or anything, but you know, I don't know. I've been able to do it for 32 years and I've got some aches and pains, but for the most part, I think I'm making it. I don't know what else to do.
I'm always hyper analyzing everything, especially like the older I get. And I've got a buddy that like my thighs are really long. So like when I sit down, it's the same thing. Like I used to have my legs pretty flat, and then my knees are just a little below my hips now. But
Right.
just the length of my thighs, when he sits down, he's got really short thighs, so he looks like he's like standing. So I'm trying to think about like where would my hip to knee ratio be sitting behind your kid? If you're 6'2", I'm 5'9", so
Right. Yeah,
it'd probably feel
true.
a lot higher.
True. Absolutely. Have you had any other like wrist issues or any sort of hand, wrist, elbow? You said your shoulders hurt sometimes. Is there any stuff that you've experienced that you've been trying to like correct necessarily throughout the years?
The only thing that really bothers me playing drums is like my shoulder did for a long time. I go to the chiropractor once a week, and I just in the last 6 months started getting some somewhat regular massages, and that's helped my shoulder a lot.
Hell yeah.
I'm bad about like sleeping on my stomach with my arms like this on my elbows, so I'll
Uh-huh.
wake up with my elbow sore. Uh, Playing drums, this part of my hand,
Oh
like
yeah.
right in here,
Mine is super
if I
tense.
don't if I don't stretch this out really good,
Uh-huh.
and then the massage lady, she's like, that's she just grabbed me there one time and pressed, and
Oh.
it felt like it was on fire. And I was like, what is that? She was like, you just got a tendon like pressing on a nerve is all it is. And I was like, something that simple causes me that much grief. But yeah, if I sit down to play the drums and I start gripping the stick too tight
Oh
too
yeah.
early on,
Oh
I
boy.
never recover from it.
No, you're going to be in pain and feel like you got boxing gloves with cement in them on your hands for the rest of the show. It sucks.
Yeah.
It still happens after all this. I'm like, just calm down, stretch, drink some Gatorade, you know, like, and then inevitably whatever pre-show nerves will kick in for a second. And for the first song, I'm overcompensating for that. And then I'm like trying to like shake my hands out intermittently to get through it if I can. It sucks. I still, even after all these years, it still happens.
Yeah. Another issue I have is I'm bad about holding my breath.
Oh, I'm still bad about that after 30 some odd years. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Is like I can't focus on breathing and what I'm playing in certain sections of
I
songs and stuff.
know. I know. I know. It seems so easy. People are like, bro, just breathe. Just breathe and everything will open up. And they have this very zen approach to breathing and play. And I'm like, after I'm going on 35 years, I still can't seem to figure this out.
Yeah, I don't have to play like many long sets, but there's some long sets where I'm just like, I think I just went like 90 seconds without taking a breath. I'll be in between songs, like trying to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man. Well, what other bands do you play in? I feel like you've got a few. Are the other ones outside of Excide, is it all like North Carolina-based bands?
Yeah, all of my bands that I'm in are. I kind of just try to do the play for whoever will have me
Yeah.
bit. I do a band called Mourning with some of my best friends, and two of those guys I've been playing in band with consistently for last year was 10 years, which is awesome. The chemistry with those guys is great. And then I do another band with one of them that started off out of COVID. It was supposed to be like just kind of like a Deftones worship thing,
Uh-huh.
and that turned out to be a lot of fun. And we do that occasionally, and then I play in like a crazy, chaotic kind of metalcore band that has really made me such a better drummer than I was when I joined the band. They asked me to do it, and I was like, I don't know if I can play the stuff you guys are wanting to play,
Yeah.
but they were all patient and pushed me. And I actually just finished recording drums last weekend for another release from that band. So
What's the name of that band?
it's called inThe.
A Knife in the Dark. And the first band you mentioned, what was it that you've been doing for 10 years?
That band's called Mourning, and then the other one is called Holy Figures.
Dull Morning?
Yeah, Dull.
Got you. Dull Morning. Okay. Good to know.
And then Mourning.
Okay.
Like your morning.
I got you. Okay.
We've had people misspell that on flyers and stuff over the years. And it gets pretty funny sometimes.
Oh, I bet, man. I bet.
I
Do you have any siblings?
have 6.
What?
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 7.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
That's outrageous. I have 2 sons, and I'm constantly like cleaning up after them and like patching sheetrock and painting walls. The destruction is constant. Like, what happens with 7 children in the house? How's that possible?
Growing up was intense. I grew up in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house.
Right.
So we were packed in there. I'm a little bit older than everybody else too. So I was 5 when my next brother was born, and then there's like 2-year increments down. So like that's me, then my 2 brothers, or I have 2 brothers that are the same age, and then a brother that's 2 years younger, sister that's 2 years younger than him, another sister that's 2 years younger, and another one that's 2 years younger. I'm about to turn 32, and the youngest is 18.
Whoa. Man, I'm an only child, so needless to say, the idea of you being one of 7 sounds absolutely preposterous to me.
It's cool. It definitely, like, problem-solving skills are cool. And then I don't know. One thing I think about, sometimes I can tell with people when they're an only child, because I think that having so many siblings, like, you're used to conflict. Because like I have some friends that have maybe 1 or 2, and some that are only children, that they just any conflict is like the end of the world. And I don't know how people operate like that. I'm like, if you get mad at me, I'm like, all right, fine, it's fine. You'll be okay in an hour. If you're not okay in an hour, you'll be okay in a day. And you just kind of get over it. So yeah, me having 6 younger siblings, my family was kind of, I love them all to death, kind of loud, kind of blunt, a little hard on each other. And as I got older, I kind of was like, okay, I can't be the same way with everybody else that I am with my family.
Right.
Like, we have our own way of communicating, which is cool, but I'm sure it looks crazy from the outside view.
Of course. Do any of your other siblings play any instruments?
Not really. My little sister did band in high school, and she played bass, I think, at church a little bit, but she's really into music and kind of took after me and has a lot of the same taste and stuff. And she's 11 years younger than me.
Wow.
And she's actually living with me now. So it's cool. I have that connection. I would have been cool to start a band with some of my siblings at some point. I think that's an awesome thing to do. Like, there's so many bands that I love that are sibling based.
Yeah.
So maybe missed opportunity, but none of my brothers picked up an instrument. So
man, yeah, y'all could have been the Hogue Septet. I think that's 7. I know octet is obviously 8. Sextet is 6.
You're right.
I think septet or something like that. I forget. But yeah, there you go. Wow, all 7 of you. That's outrageous, man. Well, you made it here. Congrats, dude.
Hey, I'm glad.
Broken neck and jacked up shoulders and all, man. Damn.
I'm just trucking along day by day.
I know. Well, man, Caleb, it was fun talking to you, dude. Again, congrats on the record. Good to talk some gear and drums and snares and everything in between. And yeah, I think you were saying that y'all might, Excide might have something in 2026. What do y'all have going on in 2026?
Right now, we have that Day Fest. I think it's called Berlin Breakout in Germany in June. And I think there's another one, similar thing we're doing in Italy. We're trying to get all that booked and situated to go to Europe for a week or 2.
Awesome.
And play those. And then, we're just talking to different friends. We've got management reaching out, hopefully getting on the road a good bit this upcoming year. I definitely want to get out there and play these songs.
Yeah, dude. Beat up your body with the drums, not bashing fences, man.
I'll say getting out and touring is a break. It's awesome.
I hear you, man. Awesome. Well, Caleb, again, man, congrats, dude. I'm a fan. I love the record. Yeah, man. Hopefully 2026 is a good year for you, man.
Awesome. I appreciate you reaching out and talking to me about it.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to Caleb for catching up. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Keep tabs on all of his bands and projects, and hopefully I can see him live in 2026 somewhere. We'll catch y'all around the bend. Crash, bang, boom.